So, welcome again for another session. So, as said, this week we will discuss on one small topic which is organizational theory. And you are able to see my screen, at least the scrolls, right? You are able to see my screen. So, now, organizational theory. Whenever we talk of organizational theory, one interesting thing I saw in organizational theory is it's part of resource management knowledge area. Really interesting thing, you will not believe it. I do not know if I am right or wrong. When we go to PMBOK and search the PDF for Maslow or for Hertzberg, motivation theory, hierarchy of needs, theory X, theory Y, it returns zero search results. Believe me, I will show it to you. I will just a minute. So let me know if you are able to. Let me know if you are able to see the screen, the PMBOK.
Yes, we can, Bhuvan.
Can you?
Just that, the font is, you could probably zoom in.
Yes, so you're able to see the PMBOK. So the funny thing is, see what I'm doing is, I will zoom it for you. Okay, the idea is, see, I'm searching hierarchy of needs. When I search hierarchy of needs, it basically, if you can see at the bottom, I know the watermark is hiding the thing, but or yeah. So if you can see, it's returning basically zero search results. Or when I type Maslow, either I search next or I search previous, doesn't matter. See, it's searching the entire document. Can you see that it's returning zero search results? And funny thing is, when you go to resource management tools and techniques, and then you're going to that particular tool and technique, organizational theory, are you able to see this organizational theory section? There's not much, there's a small paragraph here, that's it. Organizational theory provides information regarding the way in which people, teams, and organizations. So, what does it mean? Technically, in PMBOK, all these different pieces of organizational theory, different techniques of organizational theory are not explained at all. Or maybe my search is wrong, maybe somewhere it is there, but it's not definitely explained in as much detail on PMBOK. Where you find it is in the exam preparation guides, be it Head First PMP or Rita Mulcahy's PM preparation book or all this, you find there. So, interesting thing is, what is this organizational theory and where does this come from? So, why should you see this organizational theory is basically an MBA topic or a philosophical topic, a leadership topic. What does it have to do in resource management in a PMP examination? So, in fact, as long as you can understand that, you will be able to also understand the various tools and techniques, various theories and everything that you have, and you'll be able to answer questions on the PMP examination. Many people think it's a philosophy topic and they just ignore it. So why is organizational theory so important? For that, you have to understand what is resource management knowledge area. So you all know that resource management knowledge area deals with various processes that help you to, first of all, plan how you will conduct resource management in the project. What are the different things? What do you mean by conducting resource management? It is in, first of all, identifying and estimating what are all the resources needed in your project. Resources could be physical resources like hardware, software. Now from PMBOK 6, resources includes that also, and also human resources. And when you talk about human resources, you have to first evaluate and estimate how many resources, what kind of skill sets are needed, how many quantities of those skill sets are needed, from what duration to for what duration, from which date to which date, and then at what availability percentage and everything you need this, and what are your backups. You don't get the expert, for example, that you need. How will you go about and look for alternates? So what is your plan B? All these things you evaluate and you plan for it, and then you go and acquire it. When you go and acquire, it means you go and the standard way of acquiring, you could do a recruitment, right, hiring people, or you could take people from different teams, or you reassign people from one project to another. Sometimes it's pre-assigned to you. Your organization already forces it, your customer forces it on you, these people should be used. Or though we use the word projectized organization very much, most of the time the organizations are functional. That means people working in one project will also work in a next project which is similar in nature. So this way pre-assignment happens. So there are different ways how you can acquire the people you need for the team. I'm also talking of physical resources, but organizational theory, in that context we are talking of people. And once you have acquired these people, not always you will have the right skill sets, competencies for these people, and also the environment. So two things you have to develop when you are developing the project team before they can actually work on the project. One is you develop their skills and competencies. Other side, you also improve or set the right environment within the team. So right team environment within which people can courageously and freely, without any fear and with all the independence they need, they can operate. So you take care of the people and the people take care of the business. Who said this? I think it's Richard Branson, this founder of Virgin Airlines. I'm not sure. So they say you don't take care of the business, you take care of your people and the people take care of your business. So this is basically developing team. When you talk of developing team, this is what happens. And when you are doing this, for example, you have set the right environment, and we talk of various stages of team formation, right? Forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. You go through these phases, and you also, for example, manage the team. Basically, when they are performing, you in your job as taking care of the team, you do quite a lot of team building activities. Not team building activities is not just going out for a pizza or going on a picnic or a movie. Team building activities is also doing various things that improve the morale of the team, rewards and recognition. You respect the people through various means. You show them visibly that you're respecting them. Quite a lot of tools and techniques you use to manage them and monitor and control them. Quite a lot of things you do. So resource management basically deals with all these things. Now, when you are planning resource management, when you're planning how you will conduct resource management knowledge area in your project, you basically also have to take care of one major thing, which is motivating people. I told you, you don't take care of business, you take care of the people, and they take care of your business. How do you take care of people? One important way to take care of people, to ensure that they do take care of your business, is by keeping them motivated. If they are not motivated, you find ways and approaches to motivate them. You find that motivation level has changed, you find ways how to bring them back to the desired level of motivation. As I said, it's a continuous job. Believe me, project management is not a one time job. You cannot sit on your desk, make a document, a plan, and then once a plan is implemented once, you stay back. No, that plan is only valid under certain circumstances. That basically means you have to proactively see, proactiveness is the hallmark of a project manager. This basically means even after your version 1 of the project plan is ready and you have implemented that, you should not wait for triggers. One way is you wait for triggers. See, the project performance has fallen, that is because some people's performance have fallen, and then you go and that you use it as a trigger to identify what has gone wrong and everything. But on the other side, a good project manager does not wait for triggers, because you don't say I will only do this if I see some triggers. You proactively, you don't do it because something has gone wrong. You do it because that's the right way to do it, and you proactively take these steps and you directly go and try to influence the project in every whatever way needed and possible. And even in motivating people is a 24 by 7 job. Till yesterday, someone who has been an amazing performer doesn't mean they are happy today also. One example, imagine you have a problem with your spouse at work, at home, and then you come to work, your performance may fall, and if that day happens to be the day when some serious deliverable is there, or some important thing has to happen because of this guy, you will lose it, because this person basically is not in the right frame of mind to deliver the work. So you cannot sit back and say, you know what, I have made a plan how to motivate people, and I have a standard motivation plan that is applicable for all people, and then it's working, so I will take care of other work. No, each person, the approach has to be tailored, because people are different. Two Lauterbach debuggers, which is a testing tool used in, say, some testings, or two lab setups, two testers, I'm sorry, talking of hardware equipment, or two pieces of software, they may behave the same way. unless they have an error in them or something, they will behave the same way. But two human beings will not behave in the same way, and the same human being will not behave in the same way yesterday and today and tomorrow. Now you understood that is the reason why you need to be proactive and constantly monitoring and engaging people's engagement levels, right? And by engaging them regularly. And that is the reason why you need to understand what motivates people and what demotivates people, what you should do to keep people motivated. Sometimes what you think of a motivation for person A will be a demotivator for person B. If you go with one size fits all approach, you will be doing the opposite of what is needed. And the same person, the approach you did yesterday may be meaningless and counterproductive if you implement it today. And all these things you will only know if you constantly, first of all, if you understand what motivates people via organizational theory, and once you have known that, you implement it first, and after implementing it, you don't get satisfied, rather you keep revisiting that person or the people regularly to see if what is being applied to them, is it still true, is their mindset and motivation still the same, has it changed, why it has changed, is it a short term that time will take care of, or is it a long term thing, or have you to be proactive in doing some measures. All these things basically you have to, how to say, uh, uh, monitor regularly and take proactive measures. That is why organizational theory is important. So organizational theory basically means that you as a project manager constantly keep looking at how motivated each team member is. I'm talking of team member with this because this is resource management. It deals with a very specific set of subset of stakeholders called your team's human resources. And here you see, are the motivating factors in place for the person. If it's not motivating, why? Was yesterday's motivation also today's motivation? Is it today's motivation? If not, what has changed? All these things you constantly do, and the ultimate purpose is, because you are taking care of this, your team members always remain at a decent to good level of motivation, or they don't stay in demotivated stage for a longer period of time, and then they deliver the work for you. So your project's outcomes in terms of scope, schedule, cost, quality, all these things, it's taken care of. So this is how you take care of the people and the people take care of your business. So this is why organizational theory is a part of resource management in the project, and why you have all these theories. So let us look at some pieces of some theories actually in organizational theory. You have any question, please let me know before we get into. So before getting into the next segment, is my OneNote page visible to you? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. So the most famous, the first and most,
Yes.
hey, beautiful, thanks a lot. The first and most famous and most talked about organizational theory is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, one moment. One moment. Okay. So in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, basically they say every human being has 5 different levels. It's a pyramid, na? Maslow's pyramid also they call it. Every human being has 5 levels of needs. Unless you satisfy the bottommost level, people always move from the bottom of this pyramid or hierarchy to the top. So what is the meaning of this? See, you all know the 5 levels, all of you know physiological needs, safety needs, but what is the meaning of this and what is the interpretation and how does it matter to you? By knowing this, what are you going to achieve? How is your approach or behavior going to change with respect to how you handle your team? That you have to understand. So it says people's needs are usually layered into 5, and always people move from bottom to top, means unless you satisfy the bottom area of this hierarchy, you cannot motivate the person by giving something high. So unless a person's needs at the lower levels of this hierarchy is satisfied, nothing that happens at a higher level can motivate them. This is like giving a big bar of gold to a person who actually needs food. A person is suffering from, how to say, they're suffering from hunger. You cannot go and give him lots of bars of gold which he cannot sell immediately and convert into food. They say you cannot eat money. That's the basic meaning of this. And I think some of you know this anecdote. This, it's not a joke, it's also basically philosophical anecdote. There are two people who in a desert for many days are stuck in a desert. Their food supplies are exhausted, their water supplies are exhausted, and they're almost dying. And then comes a tie salesman, and this tie, na cravat, this tie salesman tries to sell some tie. He says, you know what, can you buy tie? And one of them says, hey idiot, we are suffering from hunger and thirst, can you give us food and water? No, he says, sir, this tie will be useful to you. And the other person says, okay fine, I will buy this tie with whatever money I have left. He buys, and after some time they reach a place where there's an amazing hotel and everything. So they try to enter, thinking finally they got food. And now at the entrance they are stopped. They said, people can enter here only with a tie, only then you can get food here. So many of us would have seen this story. This basically also gels well with what needs means. Sometimes the needs of a person also can come disguised, or the solution to the needs of a person can come also disguised. So you as a project manager have to be very aware what each individual, na, person to person it changes, what individual needs at that moment of time. And you ensure, and see, it's not just you are going to give the physiological or safety needs by yourself, but unless you know at what level they are, sometimes you will give counterproductive solutions to a person's motivational needs that will work against you. That's why it's called counterproductive. So, what are the physiological needs? Basic thing: food, water, not security in terms of the, but warmth, rest. Unless a person has a roof over the head, right? That's this, the roof over the head is also a physiological need. It's not only a safety need. So unless you have food on this thing, you will not look at. And but once you have food, for example, the next level you are looking for security. Security means it could be a physical security, it could be a job security. So a person who does not even see, they are coming to your interview, and one person, imagine their savings have run short because they have lost a job and for a long time they have not found a job, and this person desperately needs a job to put food on the table for himself and his family. But this person, when he is coming to a job interview, many times his mind will not be completely there because he has a high level of insecurity. If I don't get this job, more days, more tension, more days going without proper food and thing for my family, all this. And now when that person joins the job, in the first month till he gets his first salary, his mind will still not be. So the thing is, unless the person's basic food and water and all this warmth, not to stay how to say protected in a proper how to say house and everything, unless his physiological needs are satisfied, they will not go to the next level, which is safety. And when you reach safety, job security, for example, stability, if you are looking behind your back always when you will be fired, will you be the next person to be fired? You are always, or the projects are not coming properly and your boss is basically giving various contradictory signs, whether you'll retain your job or not, you will not try to perform well in the job. Strangely enough, when you are under threat, some people take it as a challenge and perform, but that's not the truth for most people. The common thing is, even in agile environments now it is spoken of very well, very much, taking care of a person. You must make a person feel safe in his job or his thing. A person who is not feeling safe will not be at his best to deliver. So when security, physical security or job security is a threat, no, is in danger, a person will not look at delivering excellent performance. They will only try to do anything and everything to save their job. They will not be willing to take up challenges. To such a person whose job is in danger, or perception, that person perceives that his or her job is in danger, when you go to a person and says, you know what, you are asking for challenging job, I am giving you a very challenging job, can you take this up? The risk is very high, but the rewards are also high. You think actually, you think you are actually going to accept that challenge? You will not. What if I fail? Will they use it as an excuse to fire me? So this is basically safety. And then comes esteem. Esteem is basically belongingness. I'm sorry, belongingness. So when they say belongingness, it means you should feel respected and welcome within the team. See, you now have food and water, everything. You also got a job and you don't have any threat of losing your job. Everything is good. Now, even before you achieve something great in the team, your team members should accept you as part of the team. Imagine one example I'll give you. In Germany, people don't call others by first name unless they call it as Dutzen. They call it D-U-Z-E-N, Dutzen. Dutzen. Dutzen basically means du. They have different, unlike in English, you, right? In Germany, they have this thing where when you are new, you are not a friend. They have three circles: friend, acquaintance, and how to say, friend and acquaintance, two different, or stranger. So you cannot become a friend easily, like in you do in India or even in USA. First, you enter the acquaintance where you are still having some sort of respectful distance, and then only you become a friend. And they don't call everyone, like in Hindi, tu and tum is there, right? And aap. So like this, in German language they have, and they say when you are new, when you are a stranger, people still say z. Z is like the word of aap. Even when they become a friend, they don't say tum immediately unless the closeness increases and you say, hey, from now you can call me tum. Don't please use the word op for me, use tum. Tu is something that you don't use except for your own close family and the closest jigri dost. You don't use it for everyone, right? So this difference now. Imagine in your team. In fact, when I was in Germany, I was working in Germany. In some companies, a couple of companies where I worked was hardcore German work environment, where many times I felt unwelcome because they used to call me up, the equivalent German word Z, for a long time. Because in other companies where earlier I worked, it was American culture. Right from the on the first day they will say, here everybody is going to use first name, and only tum, that is do, and we are not going to. So that is when they say, sometimes when they say, when they feel that you are allowed into the next circle of acquaintance with them, where you become an acquaintance, then they say, hey, you know what, from today you can call me as tum or du. That is the word for tum in German. That's called dutzen, means du kannst mich duzen, means you can call me tum, with tum. So this, when I many times I felt, even after 1 month of joining, people were calling me up. I felt, am I not welcome in this company? Because the others I was seeing they were calling themselves as up, sorry, tum. I used to wonder. So sometimes you have to feel welcome within a company, and some team members will not understand you and everything. So you want to belong to the team. Your job is secure, but you cannot excel in that environment unless you belong. And when they, for example, go for lunch, they don't take you along with them. You have to go by yourself, or you're not welcome in the coffee table discussion and all those things. So this level of belonging, for example, it could be at work or it could be in a job. You don't have a good stable of friends, stable set of friends with whom you can share your feelings and everything. So this sense of belongings, love and everything, you must have. And when you don't have that, you will not try to establish your mark or something. I'm not even feeling welcome in the team. If I stand up in a team meeting and give a suggestion, people immediately quieten me. My job is not in danger, but people don't accept. They quieten me even though I have good these things. So where will I go and give a path breaking suggestion? How can I give? That is sense of belongingness and love. This basic respect, attention, basic, how to say, attention, that yes, you belong to us, sense of approval. So this is, you always seek someone's approval. Why do you seek someone's approval? It's easy to say, don't seek others approval. The best approval is you can give for yourself. All this philosophy is good, but we always are social animals. We seek people's approval. We want our spouse to approve of us. We want our family to approve of us, our parents to approve of us. We want our boss to approve of us. All this approval and everything, that comes in this third level, belongingness and love needs. And only when you, and these are all psychological needs. One more psychological need is basically esteem. Now that your job is secure, you're also accepted in the team, and you don't have to think twice. You believe that, say, I am the team is me. You are also a brand, you are the brand for the team. Now you don't have to give the preamble every time. You don't have to give some explanation why you are saying that. You can casually talk. Now you cross the third level. Now when you're in the fourth level, esteem. When you are having this esteem thing, right, then what you do is you start putting your signature. You boldly give some ideas. High risk, you start taking risks. You risk failure also, because if at all if it fails, people will say, hey, you know what, Bowen is the kind of guy who loves to take risks. I have seen him succeed in the past. He is actually, when he fails, it means there is a reason. He will have course correction. His failure does not mean he is a failure. So it's okay, your failure is tolerated, and they also give you cushion to fail. All this, and you establish your signature, your mark. This job, if it is done, it should be Bhuvan, because I can see Bhuvan's stamp in this. Beautiful. Such, you're marking your stamp, your signature on a job. This sense of esteem, prestige. Hey, you know what? No one wants to take up this task. Let me take it up. Risk taking and sense of accomplishment. What did I do to establish my mark? Legacy. You know the word legacy. Legacy establishment. All these things come in esteem. You're not going to do something only because it succeeds. You're not doing something for today. You're doing something for tomorrow also. Some of which may lead to failure, but you don't care because you're not in a position to explain yourself to anyone and everyone. You are well established, and this is where esteem comes. Esteem needs, yeah, appreciation, highest levels of appreciation, sense of accomplishment. For example, you know what, you feel happy that you did not just do what you were told, what was asked, but rather what was needed, willingly you took up the risk and responsibility. And the how to say, you have taken responsibility, basically ownership. So this is esteem. And now you will reach a stage where even this is done, you start questioning your purpose. I've done all this, there's not much. Maybe one more challenge I can take, but it's just another, after 10 challenges is 11th challenge. What is in it for me? Somehow I feel incomplete. I feel an emptiness inside me. I want to do something which no one else even know. Example, mentoring people, self actualization. It's not only CSR activities, guys. Not only CSR activities is self accomplishment. One moment, I will quickly check uh, whether I am still online. Yes, I'm still online. Okay, so the sense of self actualization. So self actualization means, to explain to you very simply, this is achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. You believe that you are born for something more than just your job. So your potential is very high. Now they say ikigai. I don't have to make it as serious as ikigai also, where your passion meets your vocation, meets what you're good at, meets where you can do good to others, meets where you can be paid for it. Not only that, you also feel you do some things which no one on earth will know except you. You're mentoring, you're taking someone under your wing and you're mentoring that person. Nobody on earth other than that person will know, and that person will succeed a lot, but nobody will give you credit. You will be unsung, you will not be basically how to say, even appreciated, recognized also. And for example, you're doing a CSR activity, or you're doing a, say you're doing some mentoring. I will give you an example. For me, the training that I am doing now every week, this is part of my self actualization, because I'm giving an example. I don't get any monetary thing from it. I don't even get any big sort of marketing or recognition. I'm not doing it for that. Rather, I'm happy because I know that I'm good in certain things. I have a passion in certain things. I just want to do it. I don't even give a damn if someone even identifies as, hey, Bhuvan, you're doing a great job, or Bhuvan, you're doing that. I don't even care if no one on earth other than these 15 people in this call even know that today's session took place. It's okay. So this is self-actualization. Now that we have seen what these 5 levels are, please understand, a person, just because they have reached one level, means they can only go up. Sometimes they can also go down very quickly. Imagine Corona time now, this COVID-19 time, many people who are actually doing self-actualization, suddenly their jobs have become insecure. They have slipped to level 2. You know, actually many people who, even senior people, have been let go. Suddenly, the self-actualization, what you are doing, you find yourself that you are in security. You did not even go back one by one from 5th level to 4th level, esteem, 3rd level, belongingness. No, you suddenly went from level 5 to level 4. Of course, and alternatively, sometimes you don't need to go one by one also all the time. People who are actually struggling even for food, how many of them are still doing self-action? Many people. You know, there is this great story about one old lady. I forgot her name. I think some of you may know it. You can tell me the name. There was one lady actually who donated her everything. Small children also. They donated the small pocket money. They had their entire piggy bank. They broke and gave to the Kargil fund. I think now Tejasvi Surya, right, the current MP from Bangalore South, when he was a small boy, Kargil war was taking place. He broke his entire piggy bank and gave the entire money to the Kargil fund. And there are old ladies, one lady who is planting trees and everything. You think actually those people have all the safety and everything? In fact, many of them do not even have the sense of belonging. They are shunned by the society. They are silently doing the work. They don't get any recognition. So it's not just a one-way street. You can also slip back down the pyramid. It's also not a step-by-step thing. There are people who are in level 1 or 2 struggling to go to level 3 but happily doing level 5. And there are people at level 5 who slip back even to level 2 but they don't stop doing the level 5. Yeah, today I am having a job security problem. I have lost my job. I am looking for a new job, but that should not stop me from continuing doing what I do, because I am doing it not for any credit or money or anything. I am doing it because of my because I need this. I need to do this because the society needs this. So now, how will you interpret this? Imagine a person, if you are a person who is now having a job security and the fears of job security in his mind, you go and try to give him a risky job which is at level 4. He or she will not be taking this up, or they take up also, they will not apply their mind fully and they will not deliver it. So this is why you need to not only know at what level of this Maslow's hierarchy a person is, but also need to monitor that person regularly to see if that motivation at that period of life, at period of time, is still true. And very quickly it can change over a day's time, over a period's time. Someone has undergone a personal loss in the family, they'll need time to recover. You cannot actually, so this is why this is the part about leadership, where leadership and management differ. Leadership, so you use this information about the person to understand what at that moment when you're trying to motivate them, what will motivate them, what will demotivate them, you understand and then you apply. So this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Then comes Hertzberg's motivational hygiene theory. Now, according to Hertzberg, there are certain things that basically, one minute, yeah, there are two factors. One is called the hygiene factor, one is the motivation factor. Hygiene factors are the bare essential factors which, if they don't exist, it will definitely demotivate a person. Even if they do exist, it will not motivate a person very much. And unless you satisfy the hygiene factors, whatever you try to motivate, it will not motivate the person. These additional factors are called motivation factors. So unless the hygiene factors of a person are satisfied, motivational factors will not work. And hygiene factors are those which, if they don't exist, they will demotivate a person, but which when they exist, still they are not enough to motivate the person. Motivational factors come after the hygiene factors have been satisfied, and only then they will motivate. Example, salary. Believe me, touch wood, many companies are actually paying salaries even today, full salaries. Many of you are from companies that are paying your full salaries even in the corona time for so many months. They have neither cut your salary nor they have stopped increments. They are giving you allowances for working from home. They are giving you broadband allowances. Many companies are doing that. Imagine, there are people who are not having even a salary. Now many small companies, they can't give salary regularly. Many of us have never experienced that in our life. We automatically have taken for granted when I work, at the end of the month I will get my salary. Imagine if you don't get your salary, if they recognize you, will you be happy? No. Then they pay you salary and say, be happy you got your salary, now can you take up a risky job, will you take it? You say, what? You are claiming credit and appreciation for giving me a salary? Bloody, that is a hygiene factor. They don't have a water can, a bubble top at least, at work. They make you pay for water. Or in some places, there are no restaurants nearby, or small mess or anything, canteen nearby. You have to bring your own food. And they don't even have a place to sit and eat food. You have to eat in your desk. Or the place, common room where you sit and eat is not clean. The working conditions are not good. Nowadays, even coffee machine, free coffee is a basic expectation. It's a hygiene factor. If they put a vending machine where you have to purchase coffee every time, and imagine, country to country it differs. In Germany it is very common, charging for water and everything. In Germany they don't have, in many companies they don't have water free. You have vending machines with water bottles, you have to pay. Of course they subsidize it for you. water bottles, juice and everything you get at a cheaper price. You don't pay the MRP. You get your ID card loaded with money, and then you swipe this and you get at a cheaper. That at least they do. So, country to country, the work environment differs. Working conditions, how your relationship with your peers, your superiors, subordinates, all these things, personal life. Can you achieve well at work if you have problems at home? You can't. So, these are hygiene factors. So, some questions in PMP exam may come giving a situation where they say, why is it, what you should do to motivate the person? You have to first choose, see whether the hygiene factors are satisfied. Then you go for motivational factors. After satisfying the hygiene factors, you do. And one example also I will give you. Imagine a person has worked very hard towards a project, a part of a project, and we get success in the project. When now recognizing those people, and he believes that the organization has succeeded and won a new contract and lots of revenue they have earned, you expect to be given a promotion. You expect to be given a promotion when the time comes. They promote someone else. You know that other person, though he or she has contributed to the project, your contribution is higher. You expect a promotion. And then you go to your manager and say, your manager says, ha ha ha, you know what, very sorry, we have only one quota. Even we will give you next time. But I gave my blood, sweat, I toiled day and night against my personal life, everything. I sacrificed my personal life for that time. I did so much. And what are you doing? You are actually giving someone else a promotion. I know that person's contribution is good, but when one slot is available, I should be given. You know what? Don't worry. We will give you an Amazon gift voucher, 1000 rupees. Imagine? Or a small achievement where they give that other person Amazon gift voucher 1000 rupees. For you, they send a simple thank you mail saying only one voucher is there. They will give you, that person give you one simple email thank you. So, reward, you will see in one of the next factors, motivation factors. Reward, also you have to be very careful. When you are rewarding a person, the reward has to be commensurate with the achievement. You will see that next. It's not part of Hertzberg's motivation theory, but what I'm saying here is hygiene factors. When you are not even given the basic hygiene factors, you cannot give any motivation factor and expect better performance from that person. Next comes McGregor's theory, X and theory Y. The assumption is there are two kinds of managers in this world. One is theory X, who is a micromanager, and another is theory Y, who is not a micromanager. So a micromanager, a theory X manager, thinks people, unless they are monitored, they cheat. So you have to have close supervision on that person. When you get a chance, that person will cheat. They don't try to take responsibility. The only motivation for them is money. You must keep pushing them and micromanaging them to make them work. All these things. Theory Y manager thinks at the bottom of everything people are good. Nobody wants to cheat. Everybody wants to work. So if some person is avoiding some work, it's not because they want to cheat or simply come take salary. There is one of my managers used to use a word, some people are sambar vada guys, which means they come to work only for the food given in the canteen. Because in our company we have in the canteen all breakfast, lunch, snacks and everything. So they say some guys are sambar vada guys. There are managers like that also. But theory Y managers think no, everyone at the bottom of everything, everyone has his or her own self-respect. They want to work. If they are not working, it is because they are not challenged properly. There will be some other reason why their work is not visible. Let us explore why that work is not visible, why they are not fulfilling their potential. People go and seek responsibility. Their motivation stems from self-fulfillment. Internally they are motivated, intrinsically motivated people, and all this. So this is theory Y manager. So now this is mainly for you as a project manager. What are you? But that is not where it stops. There are sometimes there's a misconception. This McGregor theory means only you have to be a theory Y manager. Yes, true. Theory Y manager appears good, but there are sometimes some situations when you have to become a theory X manager. What if one of the team members is constantly creating negative vibration, you've already given them lots of feedbacks and everything, they're not correcting. You have to put your foot down and publicly also sometimes reprimand the person if it sends a message to other people who may be thinking of following that person. Sometimes you have to micromanage. Sometimes you have to micromanage for a good purpose. Some freshers, sometimes some tasks, you have to handhold them. There is a good kind of micromanagement also. But it should be done with a purpose and for a short term. Not as a by default you must be a theory Y manager, but you must be prepared to apply theory X when and where needed if it is for a good purpose and for a limited period of time. This is McGregor's theory X and theory Y. Then comes expectancy theorem by Victor Froome. This basically means, one moment, yes. So this basically means people's behavior is a function of their expectation of what will happen if they behave in a certain way. So, if they believe that behavior will result in a reward, they enhance the behavior. If they believe that their behavior will result in punishment, they will not behave. Or if they think even if they behave wrongly they will not be punished, they continue behaving in that way. And usually they say performance is commensurate, is proportional to the reward. Now the theory also says your reward also has to be proportional. I told you, right, after giving your everything at the cost of your personal life, sacrificing it and everything, all you get is an Amazon voucher 1000 rupees. When someone else gets a promotion, that is not reward. Rewards and recognition must be commensurate with the effort and outcome. And it must not be a zero-sum game. Zero-sum game means I can only win if you lose. You know, star of the month. Imagine if rotation wise everyone gets a star of the month, at least, okay, it's not very good, but at least decent enough. If, imagine, it is like development and testing. A developer intentionally, how to say, does something so that the tester is not able to catch some bugs which will later be caught because he thinks the tester will get a reward. I can only get a reward if there is no competition, and if a tester in the team becomes my competition, so let me. So this way you are trying to screw up someone else's job. I can only win if others lose. This is a zero-sum game. But as you know, rewards, recognitions, they need not be zero-sum game. There is a lot where it comes from. You know the theory of abundance. It's not a theory, it's a reality. There is more from where it comes from. So this basically has to be the source of reward and recognition. And monetary is not the only way to reward someone. Imagine a person has got a baby, a guy actually has got a baby, and he has to go home early to support his wife, or sometimes work from home and everything. The best reward you can give him is not giving him an Amazon voucher. In fact, they may not want a promotion. At that time you are giving that person a promotion, giving more responsibility will actually be demotivating. Promotions can be demotivating. You make sure that person gets less responsibility with no cut in salary, but everyone is sharing his responsibility so he can concentrate on his personal life. I'm giving man as a responsible example, not a woman as an example here, for a valid reason. Imagine. It's easier to understand that way. So this is called actual rewarding is never not directly money only. And how attractive the reward is, I told you, right? You cannot give one person $1,000 Amazon, 1,000 rupees Amazon voucher, and another person a secret email just saying thanks for your work. So how attractive is the reward? So this expectancy theory says people's behavior is modeled by what they think they will benefit from or not lose because of their behavior. Only when these three factors, effort versus performance, performance versus reward, and how attractive the reward is, all these three things are high, then people will be motivated. Even if one of this is low, it will not motivated. There is no zero-sum game. This is what is called expectancy theory. Now, the last one. This is called the Oldham-Hackman job. So don't worry about the names and everything. Job satisfaction is a small thing. A person's job, he will be satisfied with his job when he gets a few parameters. skill, how many different kinds of skills he will need to learn and upgrade because of doing this job, and how many different skills he already has will be used, how much challenge he will have. Identity with the task. Can you say tomorrow that, hey, for example, see, I'm a program manager in automotive steering development. Tomorrow, when I'm on the road, I'm driving with my family, I see another car, say a new Jaguar, right? XF or something. Can I put my finger out and show to my family, you know what, in this Jaguar XF or XE series, the software for this was entirely developed by my team here. I was managing the project, and in fact, though there are two development centers, one in India, one in Hungary, we actually in India, in Coimbatore, we developed this function. And imagine we developed a function that basically we call it a limp home function. When your steering capability gets automatic power steering, right? When your power steering gets corrupted, it will still allow you to steer to the side of the road with basic functionality. You will not lose control of the vehicle. Still, step by step, it will cut down the functionalities, the bare minimum functionalities to help you steer the vehicle to a safe place. That's called limping home. That at least will be satisfied. That functionality we developed at Coimbatore. Can you identify yourself with such a task? This one example I'm giving from my own real example. Can you identify? That's one thing that satisfies the people. Significance. Hey, whether you are working on this task or not, so it will happen. You are not significant. If that is the thing, people will not be motivated. See, 100% of things you do need not have this identity and significance. But you must not be in a situation where your manager behaves in such a way that whether you are there or not, work will go on. Don't bother to, how to say. So no, that is not right. So significance, how much your job has an influence on the overall project and on the organization as a whole. Autonomy, how much freedom. See, freedom does not, it's not a big thing. Entire project you have autonomy. Your particular task, no, whenever you are given a task, are you micromanaging or you leaving the person to his or her creativity? Do you have the discretion how the work is done? Can you do the job in the way you want as long as the outcome is satisfied? That is autonomy. Feedback. Do you get regular feedback, good or bad feedback regularly? And not that at the end of the year. Because feedback is very important, not to prove someone right or wrong, but to improve. So are all these things satisfied? So these are only some features, it's not exhaustive, this list. So there are many such things for job satisfaction. So this is called the Oldham Hackman job. So these are some theories that in PMP exam they give as theories that you can employ as a manager with your team, with your resources, human resources, to motivate them, or to help you motivate, to identify what is today motivating them compared to yesterday, and if the motivation level has changed, why, and at what level they are, what really motivates them, what will demotivate them, how much you have to do to motivate someone, and how much you have to do, where you should stop. All these things together is bundled up. This is organizational theory. So this is what PMBOK. In fact, as I said, in PMBOK, when you go to PMBOK, you don't see so much of things. It's all in the exam guides like Rita or Headfirst. So this is basically what you learn also in PMP trainings. So that's it with organizational theory. So if you have any questions, we can have it for the next 10 minutes or so. Please.
Bhuvan, now just thanks for this one. This is clear, but just I wanted to ask you one thing. Now on.
Could you repeat?
Hello.
Yes. Now.
Yeah. So what I wanted to ask you now, I have already booked the slot. So
Mm-hmm.
now for me option is if suppose I will call to center and I will ask them if they are open, it's okay. If they are not open, then only taking via Proctor. That is only the option, correct?
Okay, I will again say this. The best way you can blindly follow this sequence. First, look for a test
Hmm.
center which is convenient to you. You go to your PMI, go to PMI website, go my PMI, and then from there schedule the exam link. You click right from your examination page, from your dashboard, and then you'll be led to Pearson View PMI site. And there, when you search Bangalore in the search window or something, you will basically see the all the centers near you. It will also show you if you're from Bangalore, you'll put Bangalore after it has shown all the Bangalore centers. It will also show you nearby Cochin or Coimbatore or wherever, Vellore
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. And you select that center, you see whether there's a slot. If there is no slot, it could be because the center is not open or it is open and it has been filled. If you see a slot as open, so what you would be doing is, do not directly book the slot. You pick up your phone and call the number given there. Tell them on this date for this slot I'm going to book the slot. Can you please let me know if your center is already open. If it is not open, then why is the slot shown as available? Could it be that in 2 months' time, when I am booking the slot, your center will be open? If they say no, sir, it is not the case, we are not this thing, then please take a screenshot of the availability of the slot. It is shows is available, and also some sort of written confirmation from the center that it is neither open today nor will be open on that date when you are booking the slot. Share it with PMI. I will give you all the details, and share it with me also. And that is the first thing with test center. Now, beyond this, or for some reason you want to do a proctored exam, then yeah, every day 24/7 slots are available, and you can take. And my experience after having spoken to so many people who have taken proctored examination is, always take a time when the probability of power cut is very low and there will be less noise, usually in the evenings after 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the evening. If okay, some people, for you night times may not be good because your cycles, right, biological cycle, you are very active in the day. I cannot say anything about that, but if you think you're okay with writing the exam in the night, book a slot after 7 or 8 in the evening. The disturbances, outside noises will be very less, chances of power cut will be very less, and everything. But in Tamil Nadu, sorry to say this, many times you lose power at 10 o'clock in the night, it maybe for 5 minutes. So make sure you have uninterrupted power supply. If you don't have the opportunity of having an inverter at home, you try to see, okay, some people have done some innovative things, not just speaking to the electricity board, also they go to some browsing centers that are run by their friends. There they have generator and everything, so they say, you know what, friend, I will pay you some money. So, and they think, can I use this center? But then you have to ensure you are going late in the evening when there is no other people, because the video and everything should show that there is no one else in the frame. So such things you can do, but these are all the different things.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So in my case, I already blocked the slot. Everything is done earlier, but I have not cross-verified with them. Now I have to cross-verify.
Which
Tomorrow
Credential
I will
center?
do that one.
Lal Bagh Road.
It's a Shivaji Nagar.
Shivaji Nagar. Please check. Please check. And let me know. You can call me or ping me,
Hmm.
Skype me. You can let me know what they say.
I will call you, Bhuvan. I will
Okay.
call you, Bhuvan. Huh?
No
So
problem.
I will check there tomorrow and call you. Then I will tell
Yeah,
you.
we can add to our
Okay.
database
Thanks,
of
Bhuvan.
information. No problem. No problem.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Huh? Thanks, Bhuvan.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thanks for your time.
So, any other
Okay.
questions, guys? It could be on organizational theory or it could
Yeah,
be PMP.
Bhuvan,
Yeah.
I had one question that was on this 3 point estimation.
Uh-huh.
Actually, this is coming from the PMBOK. I was going through this PMBOK guide.
Mm-hmm.
In that, the 3 point estimation, the formula is actually different. And what was I learned
What
from
is the
simply
formula?
learning? Maybe if you have also opened the thing, right? I know the page number. I can also tell you. It
Yeah.
says most likely plus optimistic plus pessimistic together by 3.
Beautiful. I will
But
yeah, I know that's a simple average. Okay,
yeah,
I'll tell you something.
but
Uh,
but if I learned was what I learned was
by 6.
pessimistic plus 4 times most
Ah,
likely plus optimistic by 6.
that is the
Yeah.
right formula you should use in PMBOK examination ideally. The reason is very
Okay.
simple. I will give you a quick background to it. I wanted to cover this in our regular tools and techniques thing, but also I can do a separate session only for such estimations, analogous
Okay.
estimation, 3 point estimation, and such thing. I can do a separate session on that also. But here, what I will tell you is, 3 point estimation is one of the, if not the most, one of the most robust and most reliable kinds of estimation. Why? For a couple of reasons. In other estimations, you use like ballpark estimation or rough order of magnitude estimation. That's the first level. When somebody, see, I will tell you, when you are beginning to build a house, an estimation, somebody, you are actually a contractor, somebody comes and asks you, hey, you know what, I want to you to build a house, how much will it cost? Some basic questions you ask, how big is a 3 bhk, in which area you want, and all those, but you don't ask too many detailed questions. Based on the limited set of information that you have from your customer, you give a high level estimation. This is what you call as ballpark. The first estimation that you do in any project is a ballpark estimation, which means it is minus, see, this minus this percentage to plus this percentage also changes. There are various things. Usually it's understood that minus say 5 percentage to plus 20 percentage. It could be minus 20 percentage to plus 25 to 30 percentage. It can change. So this rough order of magnitude, everything is correct. So any bit from any percentage tolerance, that is ballpark estimate. This is useful when you have not much information but you are forced to give an estimate on day one. See, I don't want to know whether the house will cost 53.4 lakhs or 51 lakh, 52 lakh. I want to know whether it's 10 lakh or 1 crore. I want to know 20 lakh or 70 lakh. That you can give me, it's okay for me. Then you do what we call it as a top-down estimation, which is analogous estimation. In analogous estimation, I'm telling you all this so that you can understand what exactly is the benefit or advantage of a 3-point estimate. In an analogous estimation, you see similar projects that your organization has done and say that project and this project are similar, not same but similar mostly. Some parameters are changing, but generally I can use that past project as a reference, which means I can take the final estimate of that past project as a final estimate to start with for this project also at the top, and then I will break down this new project from top to down in a similar way I broke down the previous project. So you have an unknown problem for which you need an unknown solution. So from unknown problem you go to a known problem, which is the past project. You get a known solution, which is the past project's estimation, and then from that you get a unknown solution. So, and then you break it down and then you say at the top this was a similar project. Analog means similar, right? So I will use that as a top estimate, and then I will break it down, and wherever there are discrepancies I will add plus or minus, and finally I will fine tune my top level estimate based on the differences between that project and my current project. Then you do bottom up estimation. When you have lots of information available, you build the project from bottom up. To make these things, to build a dining table, I need the top of the table and 4 legs. I give this example always. So each leg will cost me say 200 rupees to make. To paint each leg I will need 100 rupees, 300 rupees. 4 legs means 300 times 4, 1200 rupees. And then to make a top of the table I will need, that's another work package in the work breakdown side. Like that you do, and then you keep aggregating to the top. This is bottom up. Then there is parametric estimation, where you use formula. Remember, for PMP examination, the word parametric means formula. You use some formula. I told you, right? One leg of the table needs 300 rupees to make, 200 rupees to make, and 100 rupees to paint. 200 plus 100 is 300. 4 legs of the table, 300 times 4,200 rupees. And then for example, if I need 5 people working for 5 days to finish this project, how many people and for how many days working I will need to do another set of scope. So like this, use some formula, that is parametric estimation. Then comes 3-point estimation, which is the most robust, because 3-point estimate basically uses the principle of statistical accuracy. Statistical accuracy means the more number of samples, more number of data points you have, the more reliable your final estimation is. So from a population of 1000, you pick 10 samples, and you pick a sample of 100, you pick 100 samples. The data you get from 100 samples will be more reliable than the data you get when you have only 10 samples. So getting 3 points, 3 carefully chosen and placed data points will give you a much more accurate estimation than when you randomly pick up a point. And also these 3 points are not blindly random. These 3 points, they are actually optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely. And you are doing 2 things that give you the biggest advantage of 3-point estimate. What is the biggest advantage of a 3-point estimate? It gives you reliability by giving you meaningful ranges. And those meaningful ranges are not the rough order of magnitude, minus 5 to plus 30, minus 20 to plus 40. No. It is not simply 5 days plus or minus 2 days is my schedule estimate. $10,000 plus or minus $2,000. No. It's not even that plus or minus tolerance. Rather, it gives you a lower limit, which is the best case pessimistic scenario. It gives you an upper limit, which is the worst case or sorry, optimistic scenario is a lower limit, upper limit is your worst case scenario or pessimistic thing. Whatever I do below this date I can't do, but you know what, with this thing I will do it. Whatever great things you follow in the project, it will minimum, it will take you so many days. So I know plus and minus it changes. So you get the pessimistic scenario, optimistic scenario, and then you also on top of it use a formula that gives more weightage to the more likely scenario. Imagine if you are doing a project, some things will go wrong, some things will not go wrong, some things it's based on the situation, it can work or it will not work. Imagine you are planning something and you are expecting sun to shine for 5 days so you can dry, you are making pots, you are expecting sun to shine. And you know always when you're doing in monsoon season, probability of raining is heavy. Generally in summer, it will take 3 days for your pots that you make to bake in the heavy sunshine. So that's minimum 3 days I need. Below 3 days, even if you give super duper sunshine, it will not be enough. 3 days. So that is your optimistic estimate. But then you're also saying sometimes in rainy season, imagine that particular, even in monsoon, summertime there will be monsoon rain, or in rainy season, you may need 10 days because sun is shining bits and pieces, so you have to find something. So it will need 10 days. But you know that in your part of the world, even in the worst of seasons, rain will not be so heavy that it will stretch the baking part of this thing by more than 10 days. So that's your pessimistic estimate. So even if I do a Superman's or Wonder Woman's job, I will need minimum 3 days. That is my optimistic estimate. Whatever upside and whatever things go wrong, it will not take more than 10 days. That's the worst case. That's my pessimistic estimate. Now, you know from the past, your optimistic scenario and pessimistic scenario are equally likely to happen. Right? It is equally likely to happen. But what is the most likely scenario? Here is where people make a big mistake. Please understand, people make a big mistake. They take the average of optimistic and pessimistic to make the most likely. And what will I do? In the one of the past sessions, I gave you this also. Simple mathematics. O is optimistic, P is pessimistic, M is most likely. Imagine the formula, what you basically do is, you use what you call as a weighted average. In statistics, weighted average is a very commonly used formula to give more weightage of a scenario that is more likely to occur. What is the meaning of you taking up so much data points? Instead of 10 data points, you take 1000 data points, you analyze, you spend the effort. What is the meaning of all this effort if you are going to give the same weightage to all the data? Wrong. So, you give a special weightage, a higher weightage to the more likely scenario. And the more likely, that is why you say optimistic plus pessimistic, same weightage plus 4 times weightage compared to optimistic or pessimistic. And then you add this, and in statistics again, whenever you are adding a weighted formula, you have to add the weights and divide by that same weight. It could be optimistic plus 5 times plus pessimistic. Then it is 1 optimistic, 5 most likely, 1 pessimistic. 1 plus 5 plus 1 is 7. So you should divide by 7. There could be any formula. You can say, in my project, in my part of the world, in my example, always optimistic is 2 times more likely than pessimistic. So your formula will have 2 optimistic plus pessimistic, and then my most likely scenario is 7 times more likely than pessimistic. So 7 times most likely. So 2 times optimistic plus 1 time pessimistic plus 7 times most likely divided by 2 plus 1 plus 7, 10. That is also you can use in statistics. But what they say is, in PMP they have decided that I will give 4 times weightage to optimistic and pessimistic, and I will sum up the weights and divide by 6, which is the weight. So this is the formula you use in PMP examination also. So as I said, the advantage of this formula is not only it carries more data points, it also gives realistic weightage to these points, and it gives higher weightage to the more likely option. Of course, I will not get into another discussion in a separate session on this topic on estimation techniques. I can also talk about how to do the most likely. I will take a session for you guys on connecting risk management with estimation. That's not a PMP topic, but it's a project management topic I usually take within my team. I always take this. What is the meaning of optimistic? What is the meaning of pessimistic? What is the meaning of most likely? And where people do a mistake is, most likely is average of optimistic pessimistic. Use a mathematical formula, optimistic plus pessimistic plus, instead of 4 times or another weightage, you do average of O and P. So O plus P divided by 2, and you take your pen and paper, you do it O plus P plus 4 times O plus P by 2, entire thing divided by 6. You know the answer will, you'll come back to O plus P by 2 after cancelling everything. So your final estimate will simply be an average of your optimistic and pessimistic, because you took your most likely scenario as an average of optimistic and pessimistic. This is skewing the estimate. You should not do. So then Bhuvan, that's how I've always done. So how can I calculate the most likely estimate so I can multiply it by 4? I will take another session where I will tell you with examples how to calculate optimistic, how to calculate pessimistic, how to calculate most likely independent of optimistic and pessimistic. Your most likely scenario should be independent. It can depend on, it can be a function of optimistic and pessimistic, but it should not be directly dependent. It should be to a good extent independent of optimistic and pessimistic. When you do that, your final estimate using this formula will be reliable. I know it's a very long answer to a short question, but did it satisfy? Did it make you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Thanks a lot, because it was detailed. Now I really got confused, but I didn't understand this triangular distribution and the
It's called triangular because
whatever.
there are 3 points. Then you will also, I
Correct.
think, use beta what's the page number? You said, Anu?
It's 239.
239. Oh, sorry.
Because they didn't clearly mention, or maybe I didn't really understand. Now the weighted average and other things, it's more clear to me now.
One moment. Yeah. One moment. Did I? So 239. 239. I had to be very careful in pressing the 2 button, because if I press numbers 2, I think the recording will get stopped. So good. 3 point. Yeah. No, this is, you can use. Okay. PMP does not say this is the thing. PMP says this is triangular distribution. Then you will also have, I think, beta distribution somewhere. Then it will use universal. There are quite a lot of distributions that it uses.
Okay, until then they didn't come to beta distribution yet in this chapter itself, but I don't know maybe where they're
It's
going
somewhere
from.
it is used. So, but in your
Okay.
PMP examination, whenever they give you a formula, give you numbers, you use the most likely. T plus, sorry, O plus 4M plus P divided by 6. You can use that. And some
Okay.
questions will also, and always remember, your estimation is a measure of your risk. That is why I said in a separate session I will talk about risk management together with this estimation. When someone tells you, one question will be, you ask your supplier how long will it take to do this. They say 10 days. Another supplier says 10 plus or minus 3 days. Another supplier says optimistically 3 days, pessimistically 10 days, most likely 5 days. Which one of them is most reliable? Of course the third option. So such interpretation is very important when you are using these estimations. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot. It really helped. Yeah.
No problem. No problem. So, any other questions we have? I think not many questions will be on organizational theory. It's a Gyan topic, I know, but if you have any other questions, you can also this thing. So, any other questions? So, I will put this recording up on YouTube. Also, I will share the link with you. So, what I'll do is I'll now stop the recording. Thank you very much for joining for this session. So, my only request is, yeah, at least the people who are there in this session and on the WhatsApp group, please subscribe to the channel. That will give enough subscriptions. I will also connect with you all to understand how we can improve the, how to say, and subscription for this channel. Thank you very much.